The story often goes with Meghan Markle and, of course, the Prince and Princess of Wales that they were dedicated fans of Meghan's stellar acting career. Something that really is stretching a point, as many people would realise, because, of course, Meghan had not made it that big in the world of acting. We were told, of course, by the mainstream media that finally we had some Hollywood stardust when Meghan finally arrived into the fold of the British monarchy. You know, with that orchestrated reality interview that she did with the BBC. And apparently we were supposed to talk about her as if she was a major Hollywood star. That was because the PR people at the time were working overtime behind the scenes. As we also know, Meghan was frantically working behind the scenes to make sure that the chat show doyen, Oprah Winfrey, was kind of hanging around, making sure, waiting for the right time. Meghan was never truly, fully invested inside the British monarchy. That is one thing for sure. But the story goes, of course, that when basically Harry had told William and Catherine about Meghan, they were using an expletive, just stunned because she was so, one of their favourite actresses and one of their favourite shows. Do we actually truly believe that, though? As I pointed out, there is simply no record of that particular story ever being backed up. According to sources close to me, both William and Catherine really had never actually seen the show. And as I've pointed out many times, it wasn't a big event for us over here in the United Kingdom. So this particular story is also very strange. It's because, according to a source, when Meghan was going to be introduced to our late and brilliant monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, the idea really was that she would have to be, shall we say, schooled in exactly what Meghan's attributes were to that particular point. Her successes, no failures, of course, and how this was going to pan out. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because this is the story that people, again, have put down on record as fact. According to sources that I've now spoken to who were at that point, at that time, and very, very clear about exactly how this was put together in front of Her Majesty the Queen and, of course, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, this simply wasn't the case. The story goes that Harry had put together a highlighted video of Meghan's time in Suits. One hopes, the story goes, that they deleted all those rather racy and embarrassing scenes. If you took that out, it must have been an incredibly short DVD. You get the picture. Now, this, according to the source, is in fact the true version of events. William and Catherine had to see a DVD to see who is this girl, what does she do. There were no fans of Suits, and this story has now wormed its way into, apparently Her Majesty the Queen was given a DVD. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't see her slotting that in and thinking, let's sit down and watch the highlights of a programme she's no idea about. Of course, as we know, Her Majesty the Queen really was very, very, shall we say, picky about the things she watched on TV. What actually happened was, when she finally met Her Majesty the Queen, she was given a very short brief, as she was with most people, and the rest of the things were checked out, as one can imagine, by higher levels, like MI5, MI6. You get the picture. So the story of this being Meghan's introduction, and that, of course, she was delightful with the corgis and all that sort of stuff, is a lovely story, but it is simply a work of fiction. The idea that the Queen literally would be bothered to watch any highlights of an actress she'd never heard of, and this is a woman that had met everybody along the way, simply is not true. But more importantly, what is interesting is the DVD was William and Catherine's introduction into the world of Meghan Markle. Fascinating, don't you think? Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.